My palm is itchy. Does that mean I'm gonna get or lose money? Oh, I hope it's get money. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be showing and talking about something that I am sure we all do. Some of us may not do as frequently as we should, which is okay. Honey, I don't judge. So today I am going to be showing you how I used to and how I do currently clean my makeup brushes. Now, cleaning your makeup brushes is so important. And for the obvious reasons, of course, makeup buildup, your foundation brush, if you use multiple foundations, you can just imagine the stuff that just gets dried and caked on the bristles after every makeup application. And not to mention germs and sweat and skin particles. Ugh. It sounds really gross, but it's not that bad, I guess. Now, there's an extent to that though. Like, it is not so bad if you're cleaning your brushes once a month. But if you're doing your makeup like full glam, full foundation, everything, every single day, my opinion on that is at the very least, you should be washing your brushes every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks at the most. Now, if you're like me and have a ton of brushes, that can be toyed with a little bit because I sometimes use my beauty blender for my foundations. Other times I use my oval brush. Other times I use my like thick, dense, fluffier brush. So sometimes you can get away with, you know, long periods of time, but that's only for you to really know. And it is super important to keep your brushes clean, not only for what gets stuck on them and comes off your face and the makeup, but also you can cause skin irritations and rashes and all that stuff. So, enough with the gross stuff, right? There is a lot of really good things too about cleaning your brushes, which they will last much longer. Like, you're not just throwing your money away, right? Another thing is it will actually help your skin. Having clean brushes is a huge factor in skincare as well. And I don't know if you guys know this yet, but I love skincare. So there is a few different methods of washing your brushes as well. Now, if you were thinking you could just grab your bar of soap, swirl your brush on that bar of soap and rinse it, you're sadly mistaken. Now, the soap is very drying. It's like, you just think if you were to wash your hair with a bar of soap, how would your hair feel? Horrible, right? So you don't want to do that to your brushes. You want to find cleansers and soaps that are gentle and that are kind of cleansing in a sense, right? So one of the most popular ways of cleaning your brushes, very inexpensive, and you might just have this product at home sitting right by your sink. You might want to take a look. Is this Blue Dawn. Excuse the bottle being pretty much empty. I love Dawn for doing my dishes. It's gentle on my hands because in my house, we don't have no machine that washes the dishes. I am the dishwasher. So I inherited Blue Dawn for my brushes and for my dishes. And this stuff worked great. But I have advanced in my brush cleaning methods to now I use a actual brush cleanser. I don't use a super expensive cleanser because that's just crazy, I think, right? If you want to do that, all the power to you, it's all good. But I use the Real Techniques Cleansing Gel. Now this stuff is amazing. Very little work and it gets the job done. And you're not constantly sitting there for like 20 minutes trying to get all the soapy and suds and all that kind of stuff out of the brush, because that is not fun either. Especially for us girls who have a lot of brushes to clean. I don't want to be spending hours at the sink, right? I already got to do that for other things. So before, I used to just use my hand. I used to kind of cup it like that, right? Get it all nice and ridgy. And I would just swirl the brush around in my hand, get all the product out, no big deal. Well, I had found, just shopping online one day, you know, we all do it, and it's these guys here. I don't really know what exactly they're called. Finger brush cleaners. Let's just go with that. And these guys were not expensive in the slightest. I got a 2-pack and they look something like this. They have all these really neat little ridges and bumps on them everywhere, kind of like a massager, but really tiny. And it's like an egg shape on the back, and you just stick 2 or 3 fingers inside this. So your fingers stick in there and voila, you have a mini brush cleaner on your fingers, and these work fantastic. But again, your hand works just as good. I do find this is a bit faster, but not by much. So what I am going to show you guys is I am going to show you how I used to clean my brushes. And I won't torture you with every single brush. Don't worry about that. And then I will also show you my current way of cleaning my brushes, so you see both worlds, honey, because you need choices, right? So let's move on out to the kitchen, shall we? Okay, so you'll need a bowl. You will need your brush cleaner, whether it be Dawn or a actual brush cleanser. And of course, you'll need your dirty brushes and blenders. And you will need a nice soft drying mat for your brushes to be laying out, and make sure that you reshape them perfectly. Nobody wants no deformed brushes, am I right? Alrighty, so let's get to washing our brushes. I just wanted to put out there that my face will not be in the frame, and I apologize for that, but I would much rather get my washing the brushes into frame rather than my beautiful mug. So let's get our water to nice and lukewarm and let's get started. Alright, so our water is nice and lukewarm. I'm going to take off my big jewelry. Make sure the water is set to nice and slow. Perfect. Okay, so the first method I am going to show is the Blue Dawn method. So now comes the pink bowl. I am going to put some Blue Dawn into the bowl. A generous amount if you're doing all of your brushes with just the Blue Dawn. Then you take one of your brushes, dampen it in the water, swirl it around in the Blue Dawn, and you'll see it start to suds and maybe change a little bit of color. Then you take the brush all sudsy in your hand, a little bit curved, and just brush that around. Get it nice and clean. So you see how much soap and suds gets in your brush using the Dawn? It's not a bad thing, it's all right, but it takes a really long time to rinse that out. So now that I have spun it around and the soap seems nice and white, I will come over to the water, turn it up a bit, and start rinsing my brush in my hand as well. And once your water runs completely clear, check. Give it a little bit of a shake, a little bit of a squeeze, and see some more suds came out. So I gotta rinse this again. So now I have no suds coming out of that brush whatsoever. So it's okay to shape the bristles and lay it flat. So I'll do one more brush with the Dawn soap. I will do my concealer brush. So again, you rinse, put it in a little bit of the Dawn soap, and then brush it around. And now you see with the concealer, it turned very concealer color. So once you rub that around for a little while, you can rub it in your hand. And then rinse. Give it a shake, see if it runs clear. Perfect. A little squeeze. You can lay it flat. So I'm just going to quickly rinse this bowl out so I can do the Real Techniques brush cleansing gel and show you that. Alrighty, so my pink bowl is all washed out from the Blue Dawn. Now I'm going to take my Real Techniques brush cleansing gel, and because I have all of these brushes and beauty blenders to wash, I am going to put quite a gracious amount. That will probably do for now. It is clear, I don't know if you can see that. So I will start with one of my big fluffy brushes. So this is what I use for my just pressed powder. I will run it under the water, always making sure it's on a downward angle and you get all of the bristles nice and wet. A little shake. I will dab it in the cleansing gel and swirl it around. Then I will put it in my hand and swirl it around in my hand. And already you can see how nice and white all of the bristles are starting to get. And then I like to try to get in the middle. And a little squeeze it every once in a while. What I like about the Real Techniques cleansing gel is that it doesn't suds up a whole lot, so therefore it's very easy to rinse it out of the bristles, but yet you're not being sacrificed on actually getting it clean. So I'm going to rinse. Make sure you get it rinsed very well with your thick brushes. And then once it doesn't feel gummy and slimy anymore, give it a shake and a squeeze. Feels good. For these thicker brushes, I like to shake them more so they can regain sort of their shape. And then I just gently form it and lay it flat. So now I'll quickly show you this nifty little thing here and just how, like, this is easy with the cleansing gel, but this is crazy. So I'm going to stick my fingers in there, so I'm left with this on the top. I'm going to do this guy here because this is a foundation brush for my liquid foundation, and I will show you on this. Now, you don't even have to waste a ton of product by putting it directly on here. I still put in there, I dampen the brush, I pick up some of the gel. So once my brush is coated, then I just simply, look at that. You can wet it a bit. It gets so much product off in a much shorter amount of time. My method is I use more of these wider, straight ridges for your bigger brushes, and these skinny ones more so for your small eyeshadow brushes. Now I'm getting minimal foundation, and now I will rinse this guy. Give him a squeeze. All my water is running very clear, and voila, he is nice and shaped, so I will lay him flat. And then the cleanup is super simple. I just take a paper towel, just clean up some of your water sprays, rinse and wash out my soap bowl, and I will leave that to dry as well. Alrighty, so once all of your brushes are completely cleaned and ready to dry, I leave all of my brushes laying out with a decent small size distance in between them, because you want them to have also room to breathe. Especially these bigger guys, you want to squeeze them and shake them a little bit harder just to make sure you get any extra moisture out that you can. I rinse this guy off and I leave him sit overnight as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I also hope that maybe you learned something a little different, or maybe a new technique, or just something. That's all I can hope for. Just remember that washing your brushes is so important. Clean brushes means clean makeup application, which means happy, healthy skin. And we all want that. Well, guys, I am going to love ya and leave ya. But I will see all of you in my next video. Mwah! Bye, guys! There goes my makeup cleanser. You can slay a makeup look. Oh, this hair is driving me crazy. Like, what is this? Ugh. You want to stay over there? Probably not. Let's try that again.